monoculture, the cultivation of a single crop in a given area. It upsets the natural balance of soils and ultimately depletes the ground. Today's business leaders were raised and educated according to 20th century capitalism, a monoculture in which companies exist to pursue growth at all costs, resulting in a survival of the fittest market dynamic. The leadership style that fits this monoculture is competitive, outspoken, decisive, and dominant, and it has resulted in the systemic exploitation of planet and people. Gen Z, a generation born and raised in a troubled world, is entering the workforce. By 2025, this generation of digital natives will make up 27% of the total workforce.
What is it like to be young? It's fun to be young. We grow up in times with a lot of opportunities, but at the same time I also feel like it's quite a stressful time to grow up.
The future's not looking that bright. There's a lot of big problems happening in the world around us. The climate crisis, there is biological or biotechnological crises like the pandemic that we're in.
Inequality, social injustice, and climate change.
Sometimes when you meet young activists, you hear older generations saying like, wow, it's so good of you that you are so activistic and speaking out. But I do feel that for a lot of young people, the activism is not a choice, but a pure necessity, you know?
It feels weird to talk about it because we are so young, and it's not really things that we should worry about, but we also have to worry about because it's our future.
I think the old type of leadership has different values and different priorities than it is now.
If you're only focusing on profit maximization in the present, I feel like that's plainly immoral.
The media loves talking about Gen Z's entry into the workplace, but the framing is hostile. Following the Great Resignation, it might seem that Gen Z wants current leadership out of the boardroom. But instead of working against you, Gen Z wants to work with you.
At least what I would want from a leader in the workforce is someone who is willing to also say, you know, I was wrong at times, who is willing to listen to other people and understand that there's value in listening to other perspectives.
They're not there to micromanage you, they're not there to tell you how things should be done, but they are almost there as a supportive role to help you reach your full potential.
Working for a boss or working for a company gives me the means, opportunities to discover all my passions. So I kind of see it, yes, I work for a boss, but I also see the company is working for me.
And right now I'm working at a workplace that's really inclusive and that's also has more people of other backgrounds, and you can just feel you belong more.
We just need all the other generations to listen as well and make sure that we work together.
In alignment with these new attitudes towards work, a new type of leadership is rising. One that increases motivation, strengthens loyalty, and in turn reduces the number of employees leaving roles. A balanced leadership style that combines traditional leadership traits such as decisiveness and outspokenness with more connecting and nurturing values.
It's about going the extra mile to understand each other in communication.
Conscious listening is, I think, super important. So not listening to give a response, which commonly people do, but actually listening to understand what's being said, but also layers of why it's being said.
It's more collaborative than ever before. It's more connecting, and it's much more humble.
Many people that you will meet, maybe you will not align on on your ideas or anything like that, but still, it's good to bring different perspective from different fields and expertises, different ages.
What I find challenging is finding the right balance between connecting and collaborative structure.
Of course, it's good to have fun with the employees and stuff like that, and to do things together. But in the end of the day, it's business. You have to keep things professional. Things have to be done in time, and things need to be structured as well. So it's it is a balance in the end of the day.
And I'm not saying I'm doing everything right. I'm being called out on my biases, I think, every single day. And the added value of being a truly inclusive team leads to really inclusive leadership. Because what you get from it is your ability to listen, to change, to connect the dots.
You're really investing in growing people, and those people grow and grow the company, So I think that's also an interesting switch, which I've also had to learn.
Balanced leadership organically results in inclusive cultures that are much more attractive to a modern workforce and lead to better business performance. If traditional leadership were the equivalent of monoculture, in balanced leadership we see biodiversity. A well-balanced ecosystem where a versatility of voices can grow and flourish, leading to a better balance between people, planet, and profit. Balanced leadership debunks the idea that empathetic, warm leadership cannot be strong and decisive. It requires openness, boldness, and the willingness to change. Values that are deeply rooted in the DNA of entrepreneurs in tech and innovation. Today is the right time for a new dawn in leadership. And as we've seen the shift to balanced leadership begin, the question is, how will you continue?